Vulpes vulpes, commonly known as the red fox. At night, the city streets become its hunting ground. Sticking to the shadows, the fox navigates the urban labyrinth with ease and confidence. Foxes are not an uncommon sight in London. However, not many know much about their red canine neighbours.
They all do look different, and it's really easy to say, oh, that's a fox, that's a fox, but when they come in, they all have these different characteristics and definitely different characters. So that one at the top is Crunchy. So Crunchy came from Dover with two of his siblings. They had really severe mange. Unfortunately, he's the only survivor of the three, but he's doing really well and looks really good. So yeah, he's very cute and very characteristic.
What we tend to do during the summer months is move cubs between fosterers every 3 weeks. So what we need to do then is upset them because we need them to be wild. Yeah. So to go from one fosterer where they've maybe got used to one face, feeding them every day, and they might start to say hello and treat them like the vixen coming to them with food, when they often like ears back, waggy tails, screaming. Then they can start to do that to fosterers, and we like to upset them, move them to a new place so that everything's new and a bit worrying, and it makes them rely on each other rather than their foster carer.
So this is Snappy. He's even got that like death stare about him.
It's a privilege to work with wildlife and to get to know these personalities who are all so incredibly different to each other, and also to be able to just put something back into nature, which, you know, so often you hear of nature being ripped from seam to seam, and just to be able to, we work in a small part of the southeast of England, and to be able to make a small difference to an individual animal is, you know, it just fills you with joy, really. You know, it's you're doing what you can, and you could triple what you do and still not make an impact on the species, but you make a difference to that animal that you save and can help. They recover from remarkable injuries and operations within 2 weeks. I mean, sometimes when a back leg is irreparably broken, the vet will remove that leg. 4 days later, they go back out into the wild.
So, what's the name of the one with the head tilt again?
Rain.
Rain.
Rain from Rainham.
Do you have any idea what it could be? With
the vet's had a look, and the ears are clean, so it's probably more likely to be trauma.
Okay.
And so it could just be, it has got better since he's been here, slightly. So it could be a permanent, like a rick in the neck that's left him that way. But he's smart enough to look after himself. The hazards they face out there in the wild and just trying to keep going and looking after themselves is hard for them.
Hello, Fox Project.
Hello. Yeah, you picked a fox up from me on Friday evening. I just wondered how she was doing.
So unfortunately she did have to be euthanized. So the facial wound was showing signs of jaundice, so it wouldn't have been long until she'd have gone into organ failure. So yeah, unfortunately the kindest thing was to euthanize her. She just wasn't going to recover from that kind of an injury. We had one recently come from the RSPCA where local vets had x-rayed it, and it had been shot with an air rifle in the head and in the chest, and it was still alive. And so you just think, if you're going to shoot something, make sure you shoot it, to kill it. You don't shoot something to keep it suffering for the next however many weeks.
It's best not to feed them by hand. Some people like to offer them and get really close relationships. What that does is makes the fox believe that if you look at someone's hand for food, which is really not a good idea, because they could mistake fingers for sausages or something. So if you want to feed foxes, feed them remotely. Put a plate in the garden for them. Don't try and get that close relationship, just because of the ongoing effects, and then the potential trouble that the fox could get into because of becoming too close to us because we encourage it. People really don't need to get close to foxes. If they try, the fox is likely to run away. So it's how the fox behaves around us that's interesting, because they tend to accept us as part of their environment, not be frightened by us because they're used to seeing us and they haven't been hurt by us. So they just just mosey on down amongst us, really. But if you took 2 steps towards them to try and catch them or something unsavoury, then they're intelligent, they would get out of your way. You'll never stop learning from foxes, and you'll never stop learning about how individual they are, and nothing surprises you because everything surprises you.